A lot of people are stupid. How could they be fooled just by glasses or just by a wig? Well, a lot of people are stupid. All right, finally, I just want to play this. James O'Keefe put out another investigation, and I want to show you the part at the end. This clip has gone viral, I think for good reason. And it's one of the funniest clips. It's sneaking in at the buzzer here, one of the funniest clips of the year.
All right, folks, and welcome back. Buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a masterclass of comedic irony and jaw-dropping naivety. James O'Keefe, the man, the myth, the legend, once again proves that sometimes the simplest disguises is the most effective. And honestly, it's both hilarious and a little bit terrifying. So enjoy this clip.
This is where James, I'm not even sure who the target of this sting operation is. Maybe it'll come up on the screen. But this is where he reveals his true identity to this person. And let's just watch how that plays out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I actually am James O'Keefe. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not James O'Keefe.
But you're not?
I am.
Really?
Yes. And you don't know that.
It's great. Everything about it. Perfect, like a perfect sitcom moment, except real. So if you're listening to the audio only, you missed out, because James O'Keefe is at dinner with this guy, the classic like O'Keefe setup here. And I think the guy's name is Jonathan Franklin. He's a professor or something. That's the name that came up. So let's just call him Jonathan. And so Jonathan has expressed apparently worry about being caught up in an O'Keefe sting. And meanwhile, James is sitting there. The only disguise he has on is a pair of glasses. Not even a wig, nothing. He's just sitting there, hasn't changed his voice, he's not putting on some kind of fake accent. Not wearing a COVID mask, like just sitting there with all these guys that wear a pair of glasses on. And the other guy doesn't recognize him. It's like the Superman Clark Kent thing. The other guy doesn't recognize, he pulls his glasses off, and only then does the other guy start to connect it. And then he gets up and tries to run away and falls as he's running away. It's a little late for that. I'll never understand when they run away like that.
Okay, hold on a second. This is where the whole thing just goes from uncover investigation to live action cartoon. The guy pulls off his glasses, and suddenly the professor's brain decides, oh, now I recognize him. It's like watching a Scooby-Doo villain unmask himself, but instead of saying, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids, this guy tries to make a break for it. Seriously? Running away? That's the plan you have? Are you going to outrun the internet? Outrun the footage that already has been captured, edited, and probably uploaded before you even hit the sidewalk? It's the political equivalent to trying to put toothpaste back in the tube after it's already squirted all over your bathroom room. It's late, pal. The jig is up. The camera's rolling, and your movement, it's gone viral already. This isn't just about being caught. It's about the sheer, unadulterated panic. It reveals that deep down these folks know what they're doing, and they know it's shady. They know their public persona doesn't match their private mechanisms. If you have nothing to hide, if you were truly a person of integrity, would your first instinct would be to bolt like a deer in headlights? I don't think so. It just goes to show you, when you get caught with your hands in the cookie jar, the truth often comes out no matter what you say. And it's fast and it's quick, and you have no way to exit. And let's be honest, failing or falling while running away, that's just cinematic gold. It perfectly encapsulates the unveiling of someone who thought they were so clever, only to be undone by a pair of reading glasses. This is why O'Keefe's work is so vital. It exposes the frailty of these self-important elites. He catches them in the act.
Like, you're already on camera. You had a whole conversation. Where are you going? Why are you running? You can't run from this. Now, if it were me, and I don't want to give any tips to, because I want James O'Keefe to continue doing his great work, but, you know, well, first of all, okay, a few things. At this point, if you're in DC, or I don't know if this is in DC or not, but if you're in any of these major, like, metropolitan cities, and you're on a date with someone, well, first of all, if he looks exactly like James O'Keefe, like he probably is, but you know, if it's one of the things, if James O'Keefe has called in one of his female undercover reporters, you're on a date with someone, you've never seen them before, you don't know who they are, and they're asking all kinds of really probing questions about what you do for work. At this point, you should just assume that there's a camera somewhere. You should just assume that. The other thing, because you should also understand that most people are, for someone to be asking a lot of questions about you, almost no one is like that in real life, because people are much more self-centered than that. Like, no one's actually interested in you. You're sitting there at dinner. This is the first person probably in your entire life who's actually, like, really interested in what you do. That should tell you something. But if somehow you still get caught, you know, if it were me and I got O'Keefed, which I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be going on a date with a man in the first place, or with anyone except my wife. But I'm just saying, my move would be, after the reveal, he goes, "Oh, I'm James O'Keefe." I would say, you got to think on your feet. But I would immediately say, yeah, I know you're James O'Keefe. I've actually been doing a sting operation on you this whole time. Okay? You thought you were stinging me. I was stinging you. No, I only said that stuff because I wanted you to say stuff that was embarrassing for you. So you didn't get me, I got you. I'm not fired, I quit.
Now that's the kind of quick thinking we need in politics, even if it's born out of a pure desperation. I'm not fired, I quit. It's the ultimate mic drop, the Hail Mary pass in a game you've already losing. Look, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win, but it's a heck of a lot better than tripping over your own feet trying to escape. At least you're going down swinging, with a little bit of theatrical flair. This professor, whoever he is, he's probably spent his entire career in an echo chamber, surrounded by people who nod along to his every pronouncement. He's never had to think on his feet, never had to defend on a truly unpopular opinion, let alone try to outmaneuver an investigator. So when the moment of truth arrives, he crumbles like a cookie. But imagine if he just pulled this movie. The sheer audacity. It would have been legendary. It would turn the whole narrative on its head, even if it's just a moment. It's like when a politician gets caught up in a scandal and immediately pivots to attack the messenger. It's a classic tactic, but this version, it's a certain rogue charm to it. It reminds me of those moments in debates where someone tries to pull a fast one, and you just wish the other person would have had that perfect spontaneous comeback. That kind of makes the audience gasp. This is why we need more people who aren't afraid to challenge a narrative, to flip the script, even when they're caught red-handed, because sometimes the best defense is a good, ridiculously bold offense. You might just lose the battle, but you might win the moral victory of not looking like such a complete fool running away. And let's not forget, he stumbled.
No, it's that kind of move. I'm not saying it's worth a shot. I'm not saying, I mean, it's a desperation move. It's a Hail Mary, but that's better than running away. I mean, you're running away. They already have the footage, and that all you're doing is confirming your guilt. You're confirming that everything you said was true and you're ashamed of it. And just play it out. Act like you've been here before. Or you could just say, yeah, I know you're James O'Keefe. I thought, it's fine. I got nothing to hide. I thought we were just having a nice dinner. What's the problem? Anyway. But everyone sees that clip and they wonder how the guy was fooled by the least elaborate disguise of all time. And not to bring it back to Am I Racist again, but I can speak to this a little bit because we did the same thing with Am I Racist, and I get the same questions all the time. People watch that movie, and just like they watch this clip, I saw some comments of that clip, like, this got to be staged. There's no way. I mean, the guy would have known. He knows what James O'Keefe is. All he had was glasses on. Like, he must have known. And I get those comments sometimes like this movie has to be staged. I mean, they must have known it was you. It's not staged, it's all real. And all I did was put on a wig, and we got into places with people who knew who I was and yet didn't recognize me. How is that possible? 1776 wasn't the beginning, it was the breaking point. The American Revolution was born from 150 years of colonial experience, tensions, and transformation. Want to understand what really led to independence? Our ad partner, Hillsdale College, offers a free mini-series on colonial America that tells the full story. Hillsdale College has created a fascinating 6-part documentary series where their professors explore the religious, political, cultural, and economic ideas that shaped America's unique character during the colonial period. You'll discover why the idea of liberty, especially religious liberty, drove settlers to risk everything crossing the Atlantic, how early Americans built local governments to rule and protect themselves, and why America became a place where virtue could lead to peace and prosperity. While most of us know the Declaration of Independence as the birth of our nation, this course digs deeper into something even more fundamental, the forging of the American character that made the revolution possible in the first place, and why reclaiming that character matters more than ever today. Best of all, this miniseries is completely free and easy to access. And if you're interested in learning more, Hillsdale offers over 40 other free online courses on everything from C.S. Lewis and the Book of Genesis to the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, plus in-depth courses on the American founding and Constitution, all at no cost. Go right now to hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll. That's no cost. It's easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll for free. Hillsdale.edu/Walsh. Let me give you the scientific answer, and it's this. You want to know how? Let me just answer this question, because I get a question all the time. And I'll answer it for James O'Keefe, too. I know gets asked this even more often than I do. Let me tell you why. Here's how it works. A lot of people are stupid. Okay, that's it. How could they be fooled just by glasses or just by a wig? Well, a lot of people are stupid. Okay? Like you might think you know that people are stupid, but they are so much stupider than you realize. Not everyone. There's a lot of smart people out there. A lot of people smarter than me. That's not a high bar to get over at all. But there is a great mass of dumbness. And this is the key point. A lot of the dumbest people are those who've risen to positions of authority and influence, like the kinds of people that James O'Keefe is going to go after, or that might appear in one of my movies.
All right, let's just cut to the chase and call a spade a spade. A lot of people are stupid, especially those who somehow float to the top of our institutions. It's like the Peter Principle on steroids, where people are promoted to their level of incompetence and then some. And that's worse than simple stupidity. It's weaponized stupidity combined with a healthy dose of vanity and narcissism. This isn't some fringe theory. It's a daily reality check. You see these folks, these experts, these leaders who run our universities, our media, our government agencies, and you just think, how in the world did this person get there? The answer, as our speaker so eloquently puts it, is that they're often easily manipulated, skeptically to flattery, and so self-absorbed they can't see the forest for their own reflection. Think about it. They're so desperate for affirmation, so starved for compliments that a simple "I admire your work" is enough to open the floodgates of their deepest, darkest thoughts. It's like giving a toddler a lollipop and expecting them to keep a secret. They just can't help themselves. And this, my friends, is why the work of people like James O'Keefe is not just important, but absolutely essential. They pull back the curtain on the intellectual and the moral bankrupt that provide complete craziness. So many of them have self-esteem issues, and they actually control the institutions. It's not just about expressing individual bad actors. It's about exposing a systematic vulnerability. The fact that our society often rewards this kind of self-importance with positions of power should be a massive red flag for all of us. We need to demand more from our leaders than just a pretty smile and a skeptical flattery or skeptical niceness here and there. Otherwise, we're just going to keep getting more Clark Kent moments, but with real world consequences.
Which makes the job of investigative journalists, or in my case, comedic documentary filmmakers, easier than it's ever been. Which is why I always wondered there's not more people doing this. Not that I want more people to do it, but It's incredibly easy. These people are very dumb. And not just dumb, but vain and narcissistic. Okay? Which means you can easily manipulate them. That's how we got Robin DiAngelo and everyone else in the movie, because we had faith that, first of all, they're stupid. And second of all you really got to do is compliment them and you'll win their trust. It really is that easy. So you could have someone who's like, this is a little weird. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Who are you? What are you doing here? Oh, no, don't worry about it. By the way, I just want to tell you, I really appreciate your work. I think you're great. And they'll say, well, thank you so much. Let me tell you some more about myself. That's all it takes. And now consider the consequences of having dumb, easily manipulated people in positions of power. Consider that these are the people who are running so many of our institutions. Very dumb, very easily manipulated, very susceptible to flattery, extremely vain and shallow. And these are the people who are running so many of our institutions. And consider all the consequences of that. A lot of bad consequences. Good consequences, though, we get funny videos. So that's something.
And there you have it, folks. A hilarious look at human nature. A reminder that some people are just, well, they're not sending their best. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the absurdities of our modern world and want more unfiltered, right-leaning takes, then smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next takedown. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and keep an eye out for those simple disguises. Godspeed.